Number two commitment for the 430 Psycho Challenge is clarity. And when I talk about clarity, I mean no alcohol. Now, people stop drinking alcohol for different reasons. For me, when when I started into getting up at 4:30 and I stopped drinking, uh, it was really, I analyzed the time I was spending drinking, and here's how, here's how it all broke down. So I figured I was drinking once or twice a week. So roughly 75 days a year. And when I would go out drinking, it was usually we go out to dinner, we'd have a couple drinks at dinner, we'd go out, we live in Baltimore City, so there's a lot of bars and restaurants and areas where there's 20 or 30 places all in the same place, and it's very walkable. And we'd go after dinner, we'd have a couple more drinks, and then you might turn into a couple more drinks. So, I'm not a good drinker. When I drank, it ended up being, you know, 5, 6, 7 drinks, and my next day was shot. Like if you drink like that, you go out the next day is, it's just fuzzy. It's not good. You're not performing anywhere close to your highest level. So it was real easy to see, like, okay, 75 days I get back right there. And then there were, roughly, half that time where I felt bad the second morning. It was like 37 and a half days, right? So we're at like 107 days of getting those days back. Definitely wouldn't been able to do the first commitment of getting up at 4:30 if I drank. So but I was trying to figure, back when I started this whole thing, November 15th, 2019, how I'd get up at 4:30. I had to stop drinking. And um, thankfully for me, and I know it's difficult for others to stop. It just, once I realized the time, the time drinking, actually, the 75, times it 5 hours. I estimated as like 5 hours. I'd go out, dinner and drinks and after drinks, and sometimes it was longer, right? So crazy amount of time. I mean, absolutely insane amount of time. There was 15, like, so 75 times out, times five is 15 days of time. I mean, it's insane. The um the 15 hours, I got back in my schedule from going from 5:30 to 4:30. You're at 30 days right there. You combine those two. You add in the 107 days. I mean, it's crazy. It's over 4 months of time pulled back in my calendar. And when I sat there and thought about it, I was like, "Oh my god." I mean, it's really, you stop drinking and you get this clarity in life that, you waste a lot of time. And then so for me, there was 2 other things. There was, and I sat there, I was like, "My god, that is so much time." It's unbelievable when you really think about it. So, I think most people would say that you know I wasn't a big drinker, but it took over 4 months out of my calendar. So, I would say I'm a big drinker, but it was once or twice a week. I don't think anybody around me would say I had a drinking problem. Um, my but I certainly would consider using that much time a problem, and then, um, not being sharp enough to really do anything more than coast through the day, like you have a headache until 4 o'clock the next day, kind of deal. I was tired of that. I was tired of getting in arguments over stupid stuff. I was tired of, um, defending an argument that I didn't even remember. I felt like there was, there was a lot of risk of just health issues. I had a couple friends die from drinking. I think once you get into your mid 40s, um, especially now those friends were drinking, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights a week. They never slowed down. They were still partying like they were their 20s, and both died completely alcohol related. And not that I just saw, you know, that there was a certain point that, for a lot of reasons. My number one reason was to get the time back and reallocate that time. Um, but I felt like there was risk of, y- you know, marriage problems from drinking too much, and all sorts of, health issues, um, and I got tired of it. It just seemed like the same time that we'd go out. It just seemed like the, Groundhog Day, same old, same old. But what it did also was made me think about other areas that I wasted time, that clarity in life. And at that time I was walking to the coffee shop twice a day, and I timed it. It was 30 minutes. I would go there, get coffee, and walk back. It's like 3 blocks from my office. It was like an hour a day, 5 days a week. That's roughly 260 hours, like 10.8 days a year. And then, I love going to the gym. At that time, I was looking for time though. And so 6 days a week, I was going to the gym. That was a 15-minute trip both ways, half hour. Um, at the end of the day, when you add all that time, getting up that extra hour early, um, quitting drinking, quitting walking to the coffee shop twice a day and using the coffee maker at the office, and quitting going to the gym and working out at home. There was over 5 months of time, of productive time, I could reallocate. And that's, and my whole goal at the beginning was to write a book in 12 months. It took me 13 months, but it turned out real well. It made a couple, lists of, top real estate books that year. And it was my COVID project. So this morning for my, 4:30 to 7:30 commitment, I'm going to be playing with AI, not playing with it. So I recently created 1,000 pages for my website, and I'm using Jasper AI, and then we're using Chat GPT, and then Canva actually has a AI that came out, AI Write. All three are amazing. This morning, I'm going to spend probably like an hour, figuring out which one I want to use for doing um, neighborhood descriptions. It's insane. You can say write to all of them. I was testing them yesterday, and we've been using Chat GPT, but it's overcrowded right now, so it has a lot of bandwidth issues, but not at 4:30 in the morning, I don't think. So it's coming on. It's 4:32. This is our second call, January 12th. Hope to see you next morning. We'll talk about our third commitment for the 4:30 Psycho Challenge. It's a 90-day challenge. Change your life, reallocate your time. See you tomorrow morning. Take care.